Welcome to this short video where we are going to learn how to join points in a situational composition. A situational composition is that composition that comes in paper 1, English paper 1, section B, where they give you a situation and then they give you points, then they want you to write a letter, an article, a speech, etc. Based on the situation and the points given. Okay, so I'm going to use the letter writing which we have been learning as an example. But the skills that I'm going to share can be extended to other types of situational composition. Let's get started. So here's the question. 4 English teachers comprising 3 women and 1 man of High Park School in England want to visit your school, which was recently twined with their school. Being their first visit to Zambia, especially to your school, they want advance information to help them prepare adequately for the visit. Here are some points to help you provide the much needed information. So the situation here is, in summary, these 4 teachers want to come to your school. Okay. Now they have never been to Zambia, so or maybe they have been, but who knows? So they just want you to give them some information so that they can prepare properly. So they have given you some points. The first point is that should be about climatic conditions. The second point should be about medical facilities. The third point should be about food, where to find food and the type of food. The fourth point should be about clothing and personal equipment. Then the next point should be about condition of roads. Then also where to stay. Then also bank and communication, transport, teaching, tourist attractions, and finally petrol and vehicle repairs. Okay, so these are the points you're expected to use. But you may add any other relevant point. Normally, they'll even tell you in the question that if there's any other relevant point, you can add it. But sometimes you may need to use these points only. Okay, so they'll tell you. Okay. Sometimes also you may be in a situation where not all these points are important, so you may end up leaving some of them out. Okay. So what is important is to go through the points, try your best to understand them, because it's bad to write about a point that you don't fully understand, as it may make you use wrong words and therefore affect your grammar or write something that does not make sense. Okay, so then also you have to write your points in proper order. Okay, so that they can be followed with easy. So if there are some points that you feel like they're talking about the same thing, you can group them so that you write them in one paragraph. Okay. For example, if we look at this, the first one is climatic conditions. The second is medical facilities. So climatic conditions talks about the weather. Medical facilities talking about hospitals and clinics. Food, okay. Clothing and personal equipment. Condition of roads, okay. Where to stay, okay. Bank and communication. Transport. If you think of transport and condition of roads, this may be talking about the same thing, about movement. Okay, so these ones you can try to write them in the same paragraph. Okay, teaching, tourist attractions, petrol and vehicle repairs. Again, this one, transport and condition of roads, they're talking about near the same thing, which is just transportation. So if you want, you can choose to group them in the same paragraph. Okay, it's not a must, but you can. It will just show that your writing was you had properly connected things and you understand your writing. That's what it will show. Okay. The bad tendency that some students have, the bad habit that some students have is they will do this. They will just write the way they are the points. Okay. They'll say first see the climatic conditions, second medical facilities without adding anything. That's not a proper way to do a letter. You can't just write these points the way they are and think you have written a composition, okay? Because these are just points. You can't just put them together without adding some words to glue them together, okay? And also, if you notice how many words are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So they want 250 to 350 words. So these are not enough to create a composition which should have 250 to 350 words. Okay? So let's see what we can do. So like I said, I'm going to group these three, condition of roads, transport, and also petrol and vehicle repairs in one paragraph, okay? Then these points which are completely different, which don't talk about the same thing, each is going to be a paragraph on its own, okay? I'm not going to show you the full letter. I want to show you the address, the what and what. By the way, as you can see, there is no address, so you have to create your own address, a fake address, okay? So this question, as you have seen, it's talking about people from High Park School in England who are coming to your school. So you know how formal letter is. The right side here, you have to write your address. So you write your the address of your school, Blue Gum Tuition Center, PO Box, this and this, Lusaka, Zambia. Okay. Then when you go to the address of the people you're expecting to receive your letter, you're going to use High Park School. So maybe you start with the school manager. You have to start with the title of the person you're expecting to receive your letter. So school manager, High Park School. You write a fake PO box. Of course, in England, maybe they don't use the PO box system. So, but anyway, you don't know about England, and you are not expected to know. They won't penalize you for that. So you can write PO box what and what, or private back what and what. Then after that, you can write any city in England, UK, or something like that. Okay. Sorry, I had received the call. Okay, then after that, you go dear sir stroke madam. Okay, then after dear sir stroke madam, you start your introduction, which can be like this. Okay, I've just listed the points here. So your introduction, I'm writing this letter to help you prepare for the visit in Zambia as planned. To enjoy the visit, here is some information that may be of help. Okay, so this is my introduction where I talk about what I'm writing, what this letter is for. Okay, then after the introduction, you go to the main body where you start now, highlighting these points. I'll start with climatic conditions. So you ask yourself, what can I say about the climatic conditions of our school or of our country? Okay, Zambia, as compared to UK, is hot. So because of that, I'm going to tell them that the climatic condition here in Zambia is hot. So if it's hot, what should they do? um, you can tell them to maybe to carry some drinking bottles. Are they called drinking bottles? I think drinking bottles so that they can be used. They can be drinking water from frequently to cool the temperature. Okay, so I can write my point, but of course to show that this is my first point, I can add the word firstly. So I'll write firstly, Zambia has a hot climatic condition. It is advisable to carry drinking bottles that you can be using for water in order to cool yourselves. Okay, so I've written my first point. Okay, I've used this word to show that this is my first point. Okay, I've just expanded the climatic conditions. You can write whatever you want so long as it makes sense about the climate. You can even say Zambia is a cold country, so Kali something to keep you warm. Okay, no one is going to penalize you. It's not like they're testing your geography. They're just testing your ability to write English, proper English. Okay. Okay, so next we talk about medical facilities. So this is my second point. So I can use the word secondly to show that it is my second point. So I'll write secondly, Zambia has lots of medical facilities. So there's no need to worry. Okay, So Zambia has lots of medical facilities, so there's no need to worry about medical facilities. You can expand it if you want, but even like this, it's okay. So this can be a paragraph. This can also be a paragraph. If you want, you can expand this. You can add more information. You can even say in Osaka, the biggest medical facility is University Teaching Hospital, UTH, and the likes. In Ndola, we have this and that, just like that, okay? We go to the next point, food, where, and type. So I have to talk about where to find food and types of food that are in Zambia. Okay, so all right. Additionally, Zambia has lots of supposed to be supermarkets to buy food from. These supermarkets have all sorts of food from vegetables to biscuits. So Zambia has lots of supermarkets to buy food from. These supermarkets have all sorts of food from vegetables to biscuits. Okay. Of course, if you wanted, you could have used thirdly, okay, to mean this is your third point. There is no harm in that. But sometimes to break the monotony, to break the feeling that this is becoming boring, since you keep on writing firstly, secondly, thirdly, fourthly. Okay, I used to like, of course, or I like using such words as additionally to mean an additional point. Additionally, Zambia has lots of supermarkets to buy food from. These supermarkets have all sorts of food, from vegetables to biscuits. Okay, we'll go to the next point. We'll talk about clothing and personal equipment. Okay, so light and white clothing are advised because of the hot climatic conditions. If you have some specific personal equipment, it is advisable to carry them. So of course, if you write firstly, secondly, thirdly, there's no problem with that. Fourthly, you can write, there's no problem with that. It is still in sequence. But I was just trying to show different ways in which you can spice it up, okay? Like using additionally. And also, sometimes you don't need to add these words. Of course, if you have done the first point, you have added the word, the second point, you have added, the third point, you have added, the fourth point, you can even start just like that. It's okay. Okay? It's okay. It shows some sequence. Someone will be able to pick it up. Okay? Light and white. So, of course, I thought, okay, since it's hot, so people in hot weather are advised to wear white. Me, I understand that because I did my science very well. So light and white clothing, light means not heavy. Okay, light and white clothing are advised because of the hot climatic conditions. Okay, if you have some specific personal equipment, it is advisable to carry them. Okay, so here, this point, the second point, I don't know about personal equipment. I don't know what they are. Okay, so but I have to write. I know that people have got some personal equipment. I don't know what they are. So to hide my ignorance, I said, if you have some specific personal equipment, or if there's some equipment that you like, you can carry them, because I can't advise about equipment. I don't know about equipment. Okay. But again, I can say we have different personal equipment in Zambia, so don't worry about that. It's okay as long as the English is correct. Okay. So that's what the point I wanted to teach here. Okay. So here I've got some knowledge. Here I don't have some knowledge, so I've just told them to carry what they can carry. Okay. Next, we go to condition of roads. So here I'm going to create a paragraph that's going to be made of condition of roads, transport, and petrol and vehicle repairs. So it's going to be, the other point to consider is the state of the roads. We mostly have good roads, but some are bad, and you have to drive with care. Otherwise, we have different modes of transport and experienced drivers that can take you wherever you want. In addition, we have plenty of filling stations and vehicle repair shops for your vehicles. So these are 3 points all put in one. So to show that this is a different point, I had to use these words. In the other point to consider is, okay, then I started writing the state of roads. Okay, the state of the roads, and I had to tell them that most roads are good, but some are bad, and you have to drive with care. Okay. Then after that, talking about transport, what can I say about transport? We have different types of transport. We have bicycles, we have buses, we have trains, we have all sorts of transports. So so I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to write. So otherwise, we have different modes of transport and also experienced drivers that can take you wherever you want. So this is a relevant point that was not given, but I thought I should include it. It wasn't given, but I thought of including it. Okay. Then finally, talking about petrol and vehicle repairs. In addition, we have plenty of filling stations and vehicle repair shops for your vehicles. Note that I've used in addition, meaning that this which I'm adding is an addition to this thing of transport I'm talking about. So in addition, okay. Next, there was a point here that I've skipped, which is where to stay. Okay. So there are plenty of hotels and lodges that can accommodate you. This is also true for banks and communication facilities. Okay, so I thought of combining where to stay and the other point which was talking about banks and communication facilities. There's a point of teaching. I did not know where to put it, so I did not include it. If you know where to put it, you can include it. You thought, okay, I'll talk about teaching. Whatever you want to say, you can include it. I did not see it to be relevant in this case, so I skipped it. Okay, it's okay to do that. Okay, but don't skip like lots of points. No. Okay, so to finish it off, finally, the last not the least, we have plenty of tourist attractions such as the Ingombe Ilede, which would amuse you. So this one, it's a nice way of showing that this is your last point, but it is also very important. That's what it means. Finally, the last, show that it is the last point and not the least. Okay, finally the last, I was supposed to put and here. Finally the last and not the least. This is also good when you don't have many words. You want to, to add more words. Okay, you want to have 250 to 350 words, but your points were not made, and you feel like you won't reach 250 to 350. So you can, instead of just saying finally, you can say finally the last and not the least, provided that this point is also important, but it is just the last point. Finally, the last and not the least, we have plenty of tourist attractions such as the Ingombe Ilede, which would amuse you. Of course, Ingombe Ilede is not even where my school is, but no one is going to penalize you. You're not being judged for your geography, but for your ability to write English. Okay, so that's how to combine points. Okay, so I showed you different ways to combine points, different words to add, how to expand, and how to write them in a proper sequence. So this marks the end of this short video. Hope you have learned something. See you in the next lesson.